Most brands don't have a marketing problem. They have a memory problem. And if this already feels a little uncomfortable, this video is probably for you. For context, my name is Colin. I'm a full-time chief marketing officer, and on this channel I like to slow things down and talk through how marketing and branding actually work when you strip away all the noise and the tactics and the trends. Let's get into it. Most brands aren't disliked. They're not criticized. They're not doing anything obviously wrong. They're just not remembered. The logo looks fine. The website is clean. The messaging checks all the boxes. And yet, nobody thinks of them when it matters. They're invisible. And here's where this gets a little uncomfortable. A lot of brands mistake that invisibility for safety. Because if you don't stand out, you can't really be wrong. You follow the best practices, you say what everyone else says, you stay inside the category lines. And on paper, it looks responsible. But in reality, it's one of the fastest ways to never be chosen. Because people don't remember brands that feel acceptable. They remember brands that feel specific. And if someone can't describe your brand in a sentence after seeing it 10 times, you're not building awareness, you're building noise. Sameness doesn't happen by accident. It happens because it feels safe. Most brands don't set out to be forgettable. They set out to not mess up. They look at what's already working in their category. The phrases everyone uses, the promises everyone makes, the tone that feels professional. And they just kind of stay there. Because saying something different feels a little risky. If you take a position, someone might disagree, right? If you sound opinionated, you might turn people off. So instead, brands choose language that offends no one. High quality, customer first, innovative solutions. Nothing about it is wrong, but nothing about it is memorable either. And when everyone sounds the same, it creates the illusion that this is just how marketing works. That blending in is the cost of entry. But what's really happening is that categories train brands to repeat what's already familiar. Even though familiarity without distinction is exactly what makes them disappear. Because memory doesn't come from fitting in, it comes from contrast. Now, here's the important part. Memory isn't created by volume necessarily, it's created by contrast. But contrast only works if people actually see you. You still have to show up. Consistency keeps you present. Signals make you memorable. People don't remember everything they see. They remember the things that feel different in a meaningful way. This is where a lot of brands get tripped up. They think being remembered means saying more. More features, more benefits, more explanations. But memory doesn't work like a checklist. It works through signals. A signal is anything that tells someone this is what we believe or this is how we see the world. Signals show up in patterns. The ideas you repeat, the problems you care about, the lines you draw. Over time, those signals create contrast, not because they're extreme, but because they're consistent. Think about the brands you remember instantly. It's not because they showed up once and said something wild. It's because they showed up often and said the same few things clearly. Repetition doesn't make brands boring. It makes them familiar. And familiarity is what keeps you top of mind until the moment someone actually needs what you offer. When someone sees your content and thinks, yeah, that feels like them, memory is doing their job. But when every piece of content tries to say something new, nothing sticks long enough to be remembered. So here's a simple way to tell if your brand is actually memorable. Imagine someone sees your brand 10 times. 10 posts, 10 videos, 10 touch points over weeks or months, whatever. What would they say your brand is about? Not your products, not your features, but what you stand for. If the answer is vague or sounds like it could describe anyone else in your category, that's the problem. Not reach, not frequency, memory. This is also why being top of mind matters more than being persuasive. Most people aren't in the market when they see your content. They're just passing through. And your job in those moments isn't to sell, it's to be familiar. So when the timing changes, when a need shows up, you are already there. The brands that win aren't the ones that convince the hardest. They're the ones that are easiest to remember. Because when a decision finally needs to be made, people don't start from scratch. They reach for what already feels known. That's what memory does. And that's why consistency with a clear signal will always beat shouting into the void. If this video helped you rethink how you show up, that's a win. You don't need to post more. You don't need to be louder. You need to be clearer. And you need to be present. If you're interested in more conversations like this about content, branding, and how marketing actually works over the long term, you're in the right place. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.